Hello everybody and welcome back to Team Heretics taking on Fnatic. We are ready to roll with what is map number 2. And looks like we've got the X-ray bug as well, so I'm going to have to sort that out just after this round. But for now, we've got the pistol round unfolding between Fnatic and Heretics. Heretics starting on the CT side, where I expect them to struggle against Fnatic with what we've seen from these Ts in the past.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm just going to wait and see. I want to stop speculating because Heretics lately have just been proving me wrong in every single game that I expect them to be perhaps outmatched in. Right now, Lucky trying to flank up mid. There's 3 of them waiting here so that they can just swing in and actually get this kill together. It ends up only being Brolan, but he's entrusted with it and it works out in his favor to get that first. The knife, though, from Flusha coming in from behind, not quite able to get it. Kiyoshima reacts and spins around. And suddenly it's a 3-on-2 favor in Heretics. You'll see Fnatic run this over towards B, but realizing this now, the rotation coming back in through Banana already.
There's the shots from Maka, but he can't find the kill. And the knife attempt earlier might not cost them. The bomb plant coming down for Fnatic as the T's took away in these post plants. Oh, no, they don't. JW goes out wide. He's losing a lot of health and his life with the headshot from Navera. It's all up to Crims. 18 HP on the board. There's a kid in play as well. Navera's got that one picked up, and he is very, very low. The flash coming over. Grim's on the swing. The bomb not being defused just yet, not being stuck. He knows now this is likely to be a stick. Needs to swing fast. It's almost done, and time is gone. Heretics have got it. 1-0 to start us out.
What a crazy round. Flusha wanted the knife. I don't know if now is the best time to be going for those knife kills and such. If I'm being 100% honest, they are currently down by 1 map. I think confirming the pistol round at least would have been a real nice positivity for Fnatic just to feel comfortable kicking the map off. Heretics, though, they pick it up. They have the CT starter, obviously. Fnatic, though, haven't got the bomb down. They will go in for the force buy. No AKs coming out, but there is 2 Galils, a UMP, a Mach 10, a Tech 9, and a pretty solid amount of utility for them to use as well. Though, it's going to be quick contact likely being found. This nade actually going to be the first one to deal out a considerable amount of damage. The spam then from Lucky takes down Crim.
Dean, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. It sounded like you cut out for a second. Maybe you did. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I did. Yeah. My game was okay, but maybe Discord dropped from me for a sec.
Yeah, it looks like it might have. But it's okay. I was scared. I thought you'd left me alone again. The internet problems have been plaguing us the last few days. Fnatic stuck outside. As you said, they've lost Crims, and you've got Heretics took down with a 3-man hold of the B bomb site. Fnatic pushing forward right into their hands. Their open arms, but never mind. The love is thrown away as JW picks up another to Navera. Heretics are behind. Literally, they're behind. They're coming behind. Up and down on the flank. But also behind in the round on a 2v3. Well, Flusha and Golden are lit, but that may not play all too massively into it. The bomb planted, utility on their side. Yeah, indeed. Heretics are forced to save after that first smoke.
What a round. I apparently did miss some of it, at least on the stream side of things. I was able to catch it from Mike. You Flusha. He doesn't even want to let you save us. Were they running around, I guess, to try and catch some exit? They definitely wanted some of these exit frags. But that's a tough position to be in right there. I think maybe saving the weapons over would have been better because they are going to be just force buying into this round now, considering both Kiyoshima and Maka are looking at the double eco. So I doubt we see an eco. So really, every little would have helped them in this situation. That's close enough to a slogan for something. But here we go. Fnatic reclaiming some control off the back of that. And we've said it before, winning out the following round, the force buy after the pistol, a lot of the times can be the better way to go, especially if you're on the D side, because then the CTs don't have that boost of economy, and instead getting 1400, it puts them in a very difficult spot. Sure, we're not seeing the full force buy here from Heretics, but they're still not going to have anywhere near enough to buy in the next round either way.
Well, with Flusha falling, I think Heretics are going to be happy to play that little bit more passive, but that's only what I think. Maka's got something else in his mind. Up on top, he goes, and the spam is good for 2! Oh my word, Maka! He's bailing out, but although he's traded by the UMP, that's not quite the trade back Fnatic wanted. A 4v2 now. And he even got the AK, then dropped. That's picked up by XMS, who has armor and is holding down towards this A site. Fnatic committing into it. This is going to hurt them when they realize that that rifle's being retrieved. Oh, they're going to walk through on Lucky as well. He's already up close to this smoke. they're just waiting. It's going to fade, but he pulls back.
Oh, he could potentially line these up right now, indeed. Almost managing to get himself the second one as well, but, I mean, even the first kill alongside that damage makes it now just so difficult for Brolin. Obviously being the standout player back on Nuke for Fnatic, dropping over 35 kills despite not being able to get the victory. But I think this 1-on-3 could potentially be a bit too much to ask of him, especially as right now you just have Kiyoshima hiding in the back of the bomb site. He doesn't really want to give any chances over, and yeah, he's trying to stick that bomb plant, taking the gamble that perhaps that final player was pushed up towards Banana if they were still around B, and hoping that smoke would give him the cover that he needed. But it doesn't happen. Heretics immediately fight right back into it. That wasn't even the full investment, as I said. They had kept money onto the majority of the players, at least a small amount.
Well, Dean, we got a back and forth game already on our hands. Big plays being made by Mackett, no surprise. One of the operas that does perform when it comes to Inferno. You know, a lot of them do tend to have a rougher time, but even on the T side, man, this guy's pulling out insane plays. Fnatic, though, with one round on the board already, they're happy to trade back and forth once they can find this one here. But they do come in with a pretty distinct disadvantage. What they're working with an AK and a Galil outside of that. These. This could be a whole lot better considering Heretics have got full rifles.
Yeah, looking to make their way up in. With that smoke down, I was going to say it could make things awkward, but they actually catch Maka as he's trying to Molotov out Boiler. And JW just straight through the long smoke catches Navera, backed up by Gold, and Lucky falls as well. Fnatic are fighting right back into this one. Looks like we're going to have a very scrappy map here between these two. Golden wrapping in on long, could be dropped by the AK. That was a big open and a big chance for XMS, but not able to capitalize on it. And I believe there is a player out on balcony already. Indeed, Brolin had creeped out around behind the smoke. So that is an easy frag being found, a convincing round as well from Fnatic. And Kiyoshima forced to save, understandably so. Zero money left over in the bank for him. And I mean, considering Fnatic have a few weaker weapons, they can afford to try hunt this one down and completely destroy the investment in the next round for Heretics.
Saving this M4 is going to be under heavy threat. Crim's position slowly edging forward. Flash goes through. Keo spraying. Now they know where he is. Crims comes around and he has time. Doesn't quite get the rifle, but the kill is almost better. Well, it's not better. It would be better to get the kill and save the rifle. Yeah, that's true. Almost as good is what I was going for.
Yeah, it's still not a big deal to Fnatic. It would have been a nice little bonus though.
Yeah. Yeah, bringing forward the absolutely nothing for Heretics. They're left down to just take an eco, and Fnatic should be on the board with a third. Yeah,
most likely, but I mean, who knows? There's one P250, perhaps XMS just goes insane. They are just going to try and actually fight down mid, and there's one kill from XMS so far. Immediately though being destroyed by Crims, who actually comes through with a triple kill for himself. Flusha getting the final one then as well. All they've lost was the Galil. Flusha's like, ooh, get that away from me. Shooting it back. But yeah, one casualty, not too bad. We will see the buy now coming in, but I wouldn't have minded another eco here, if I'm being honest, from Heretics. Look how weak this overall investment is. Kiyoshima does go for the deagle, so they have a few more nades, so it's not looking as bad as it could have been. I wouldn't mind if Navira also went for something a little bit weaker so that he could get the nades too, and that's exactly what he has to go for. So this isn't great. I mean, a good chance here for Fnatic to pick up this round and just start really running away with their T side.
Nice opening coming through from Lucky. And we're actually seeing much more aggressive banana control than usual for Heretics. That smoke down is stopping Fnatic from barreling forward. I saw them fall back for a second. I got very worried. XMS, quite lucky he was around there to help Maka out and keep him alive. It was about to be flanked out on the side. The AK waiting for them to drop off of the balcony. But so far, anything Fnatic are spotting is coming at a heavy cost. And as Heretics bail back out of banana, that control doesn't really mean a whole bunch to Fnatic. They need to find kills to open this up before they can decide where they want to go. And with Nevera completely undetected at the moment, could play a huge role in catching JW off and shutting down this long control.
Ooh. This could get a little bit dangerous, though. Nevera needs to come in so that they can have a little bit of help here from the library, and he's probably going to find some contact relatively soon once JW does begin to go forward. Nice Molotov, though, on XMS. Not quite going to be able to do that much damage to him, and the timing is perfect for Nevera. They're swinging out. Catches JW just as the Molotov, I believe, was taken into his hands, and follows up with another through the smoke onto Crims. So it's all on Flusha, not able to even input any damage, so a flawless round there from Heretics. We said they were lacking, but those nades they prioritized ended up working out for them, helping them quite a bit. And Heretics don't really allow Fnatic to get much control before they immediately bounce back. As I said, I'm expecting a scrappy game now of how this has begun. I think it's going to continue on like that. Again, Fnatic are able to pull their own buy-in. Heretics, though, having a Mach 10 on Kiyoshima, that's really their only weakness. But even then, it would have been Inferno. There's lots of close-range positions that Mach 10 can be extremely useful, especially as he brings it over towards B. That is wild, yeah, just rushes straight down. There's not even a smoke at the bomb right now. So that does allow Golden to come in and trade. Another player trying to follow up being lucky will be successful. And I think they should be happy now with the frags they've been able to find. Having that 4-on-3 is a pretty solid spot.
Yeah, definitely. That aggressive control down through Banana, we see it coming through from them quite a bit. Nevera playing back over towards CT, pops a flash over. Kiyoshima rushes down. This time the one kill... usually what we've seen from them up against Dignitas anyways, every time they tried that, they were only good for one, but they've really fixed out their flash timings when they came into that. Because you would often see Nevera throw that flash just a second too early. Keo would be late swinging, and then the players, I think it was usually Freiburg that was down bottom Banana, would have taken the kill. Right here, though, works out perfectly for them, and they end up in a 4 versus 2 with Fnatic, having JW and Crims looking to push forward, but look, he's playing passive on the bomb site. He swings out just in time to catch JW, and now just falls back, leaving Crims all by himself, hoping he gets peeked and gets given an opportunity. But as of yet, Heretics are avoiding giving him anything.
Yeah, it would really be the only way Crims could open his way back into this round, so they're not going to be making that mistake. They'll push forward and potentially find Lucky. Unfortunately, not able to even do that, so immediately drop the 4th round being found as Heretics are able to go ahead and reclaim the lead for themselves. We've seen them up 2-1 at one point, of course. Off the back of taking that one, though, having a look at the economy of Fnatic, it unfortunately is a position where only 2 players can actually afford to buy for themselves. So likely just going to see the eco. That little bit of extra cash is being invested so that, again, they can keep the pressure on how close some of these rounds have been. Obviously, the last couple now for Heretics have been quite convincing. Living with 5 and then 4 in the previous one. But the economy isn't insane because with the reinvestment, at least in towards utility, it has kept the money down a little bit for Heretics. So if we see a few kills at least coming out from Fnatic here, it could definitely make this investment worthwhile. Taking it up a little bit in towards middle. No one really able to hold this aggressively from Heretics, so they will have to just give it up. As I say that though, Maka does find one player trying to come around.
Doing a good job of picking that opening. Falling back as well, conceding control when you hear those pistols start to barrel up towards you. You know your opponents are on a weaker buy. That's the way you want to see them hold this. The only issue is, again, we see Heretics leaving Kiyoshima alone towards the B site, but super passive. So he couldn't spot any info as they come through, meaning eventually they have to commit that second player over, which is Lucky on the rotate. This is something that's, I think, a distinctly missing strat from Heretics' strat book, is having that solo B player playing aggressively, at least on the corner, to spot down through Banana. In this instance, even with the rotate, they lose the sight. Lucky's locked out. He might even get taken down, and Lucky to survive that. Woo! No pun intended. Golden on 3 HP. Crims Flusha also lit. No frags left, and they're going to have to go in for the just straight up aim duels. Boosting above is dangerous. It's not being watched, though, so Nevera's good to pick one. And both remaining players are low, but a good headshot by Golden, and he gets a second opportunity. The pre-fire around the corner gives Maka the frag, but look at Flusha. The long flank. He is playing the long game, and they'll presume he's in Banana now, but they actually smoke out CT just in case he'd snuck around. Big brain, big reads, and big round for Heretics. But also, I mean, Fnatic getting 2 kills ain't too shabby. And a bomb plant as well. I mean, their money is great and they've done damage.
I would say especially the bomb plant helping them out because they had put some investment. I had said how they wanted to try and do a little bit of damage, but to do so they had invested themselves. So boosts them up, kind of makes up for what they invested, and on top of that, obviously it was worthwhile having actually put in the damage over towards the side of Heretics as well. So a little bit of reinvestment. Overall, though, we're going to need to see Fnatic actually taking a couple rounds in a row if they were to actually try and break that economy for Heretics. So not going to be an easy one for sure. A little bit of nade damage here coming in the beginning. As you said again, Heretics, they don't really look to get too aggressive around Banana. You don't normally see the 3-man stack to try and take the control from them. Is in trouble.
Yeah, he's made it. Oh, no, he hasn't. Never mind. Look, he swung to take him down. Thought he was maintaining a passive composure, but never you mind. The flash so perfectly timed by Maka as Lucky swings and takes Golden looking at a wall. And with 3 versus 2 for Fnatic, they are not off to a good start. And I thought their T side was going to be the better. As I said, Heretics have been struggling on Inferno, but it looks like the majority of their problems are really being patched up. This is a far stronger defense than I've seen in the past.
Looking fantastic so far. I mean, if they can take this round for themselves, that'll be 4 relatively convincing rounds in a row. Get the control going for sure. Nivera close in that box. They're going to be able to find the first. Actually get the second as well. With the help from XMS, but it wasn't needed apparently. Once XMS actually pops out, it costs him his life. Nivera is the one instead to clean up. 6-3. Only the 1 player going down. So again, they can be really happy with how that round has gone. And Fnatic, obviously not really happy with how this map is going so far, especially since they did drop map number 1. Of course, we've seen that go all the way to 16-14 before eventually Heretics came out on top of it. But here on Inferno, Fnatic's map choice, we mentioned obviously that it is a pretty good map for Heretics. Their last couple of games have been a little bit more shaky, but they're definitely capable of playing it. They definitely enjoy playing it. So that's why we said it could still be a competitive one, but I wasn't expecting this. Firm hold right now on the control here early on the CT side for Heretics. And Fnatic, I mean, could buy here, but Brolin and JW would have pretty much no utility behind their rifles. Crims will have to go for something weaker. And yeah, it looks like they're just going to invest in what they can, the spear economy that they have left over. A hero rifle from Flusha, but obviously with full loss bonus, he'll still have plenty to buy in the next.
Well, Dean, on the back of this much improved CT side, Heretics are going to be feeling very confident. They've got 1 map under their belt already, and as you look forward to how things are progressing at the moment, it's not looking too terrible, really, is it? I mean, if they can make it up to 9 rounds, they're set up perfectly to close this one out. We know their T side, in general, has actually been where they've looked the best against some teams of the, well, maybe not of exactly Fnatic's level, but of close to. Oh, and Dig did pretty well yesterday. Just in general, this is a scary situation. Fnatic, they don't need to win this round, but it would certainly be nice just to slow Heretics down. And also that economy is getting out of control. I'm expecting 3 kills from Fnatic at a minimum, and they lose they lose Crims to Maka to start it off. Molly down. Nivera's caught in the corner, though. They've got to smoke that off. Get him out of there. Flash is in play. He's going to swing afterwards, facing. Oh! It was so aggressive, but it works out for another frag. Up against these pistols, I'd rather see it take a little bit closer to the chest approach, but XMS doesn't give a damn. He's just swinging out wide. Yeah, did you say play passive? I'm going to peek them on short. Cool. Drops the bomb, gets the kills, and they don't lose a single player. Look at the money right now. Heretics, they can afford to buy the bank that owns your house.
Well, not quite. I mean, the CS money does seem to be quite inflated, though, to be but,
it doesn't say whether it's US dollars, Canadian, you know what it is.
It's Counter-Strike dollars.
There you
CS
go.
dollars.
Worth approximately 0.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the skins that are the real currency. They should just be trading weapons with each other. But right now, the AKs all in play, at least for Fnatic, so they do have the full buy. That was a nice attempt by Maka, unfortunately not able to connect the shot, and ends up immediately dropping the Brolan. Looking like they want to try and follow quickly on mid as well, so not really letting Nivera get comfortable at all. The flash comes through, he still gets 1, but it's XMS and Boiler, they have no idea, not quite able to line them up. Eventually gets Crims, but it costs him a lot more health than it should have otherwise. So this is still a really good position for Fnatic.
Oh, one
Nice
for one
double.
trades. I mean, that's not ideal for Heretics. Having to get back in here is an issue. They've got kits, but XMS is so low on the AWP. They need to get a kill within the next 10 seconds or it's time to just bail out and save. And slowly edging forward, smoked out now again. Trying to assess the probability of this working. Okay, we got a distraction play coming through. Oh, the wide peak. They're still going. They're still moving into it. JW, great spray. XMS is stuck. He'd already committed forward. A pistol out. A nice swing. That's it. I feel like as soon as Keo gets, when Keo gets smoked, that's when you can consider saving. When the swing comes in then, so Keo's distracting, spraying through, hoping they'll look at him. XMS gets a shot, misses, doesn't get the kill. That's when it should just be, all right, let's give up on this one. It's no longer worth committing. The time is so low. They know where we are, and XMS has to peek into someone that's holding him. But they go for it anyways. They lose their weapons. They have got plenty of cash, but it can never hurt to save an op, really, can it?
No, I mean, after they invest here as well, they're not going to have ridiculous economy. There's still a couple players yet to buy up here, so Navira and Lucky, although they look like they have loads, it won't be quite that amount in a moment. We do have a pause for now, just because Fnatic's coach, unfortunately, has timed out, so hopefully that won't take too long. It was actually just a crash, from what they're saying, so hopefully it wasn't his internet. That would mean just a quick game restart is needed. But a good round from Fnatic. The thing is, now they need to actually go ahead and try and capitalize off the back of it. As we said, the economy had built up into a relatively okay spot for Heretics, so they have a great buy here at least. So we need to see Fnatic starting to actually pick up some momentum themselves. They can't afford to let what happened back on the back on that second half of nuke, at least in the early stages of that half, where we've seen, of course, Heretics get off to a good start, eventually drop around, and then just immediately come back with a gun round and resume what they were doing before. But here we go. Back on the server, the coach is here to help them out. They will be going for the buy. Obviously, as I said on the CT side, not really lacking anything at all. They have everything they could wish for. But as you said, not having actually saved over does leave XMS really in the only position where he could struggle to buy in the next.
Oh, good trade by XMS from the grave, I guess. But still, Fnatic are going to be happy to be a man ahead. That apps control completely left open means Heretics have to fall back. They were holding up on short with Navera and Maka, as we've seen in the past. But really, that needs to not be as aggressive of a hold from XMS. It destroys the mid control that they were going for. And even enforcing them to change up positions obviously puts them in harm's way. If there are players around mid, burns up some smokes. It has definitely a lot of impact on the round. Just XMS dying, even if he got 2 kills, it could hurt. Brawlin, great pre-fire around the corner. Maka didn't have a chance to react. They drop down in the pit. Oh, I thought he was going to get more, but Kiyoshima's going to do it all, and he can't get it done. Lucky's very lucky. He's not died of that. The op shot of JW missing, and Lucky, I think, is thanking his lucky stars and thinking about saving. Carrying this weapon through to the next round is probably the best he can do.
Yeah, this one has to be the save. It'll help them out quite a bit. XMS did get 1 kill, so he would have enough to just about scrape out the buy for himself. But ideally, if Lucky can drop him over the rifle, which he can if he saves, obviously, would be perfect. Giving them another good buy in this next round. But yeah, Fnatic have started to pick up the pace now here for themselves. 2 rounds in a row. Not letting Heretics get away with too much before they begin to indeed show what they are capable of. Do they want to hunt this down? Nah, I believe just exiting safely, thinking that Lucky might be still around mid where he was, of course, earlier on. He is actually holding the spawn push, though, so if Flusha goes any further forward, he could be in a bit of trouble. Golden as well. Yeah, not going to risk it. Yeah, weapon being dropped over, full buy once again coming in. But if Fnatic get this round, then suddenly they're going to be tying up the scoreline at 7-7.
Considering how this started out, that's not too bad. They were behind by a significant amount. Still are to an extent, but as long as they pick up 1 more round, they're still in a comfy spot. That's what they want. 1 more on the board, but Heretics look to stop them and take it all the way to 10. Everything's really up for grabs coming into the end of this half, and Fnatic, they are struggling a little bit for money if they lose 1. But the same can be said for Heretics. So this is really the turning point to determine who ends up in not just an okay spot, but a good spot. And Brawlin opens this up by taking Navera down. With that, they know XMS was playing apps. And as he's not there, he has to be in pit. Already spotted him out, but he survives. The smoke covering him, but Maka falls. XMS! Not good for the second. And even with Crimson Golden so low, Lucky has very little that he can say about this round.
Yeah, that M4 must be his best friend. He wants to hang on to it again. Understandably. They will have very little in this next round. I would imagine that they will go ahead and take that one eco. Unfortunately, then at that point, they're playing for an optimal of 8 rounds down on the CT side, which isn't ideal. It was looking like they may have been able to come out with a much, much better scoreline just a couple of rounds ago. But Fnatic looking so much better right now. The slow start, but it's not holding them back from still being able to show up at a great T side. Looking in the exact same position as that previous round as well. This time they are actually hunting them down a little bit more though. Flush has come up towards the bomb site. Unless he starts sprinting in towards construction right now though, it's going to be hard for him to find this kill. Okay, actually may still make it in time. Lucky expecting to be more so towards the spawn, so isn't ready for the close peek. And Flusha gets it for himself. The weapon being dropped, nothing at all being retained into this round for Heretics. As we're likely only going to see really a few pistols maybe being upgraded there on the players who have that extra economy. Maybe they can drop over a few as well. But this should be 7 rounds now for Fnatic.
Yeah, look at that. We've even got a Zeus making an appearance on Navera. The Heretics playing a passive hold towards the B bomb site. They only got the pistols, so you can't expect it. And XMS, the only player with armor, is just survived by a sliver of health because of it. Brawling, taking those early duels, clearing out apps actually completely as the players back off to the site. Kiyashima caught out towards CT is eliminated. That's a clean round from Fnatic, as you would hope for and expect. As they get a bomb plant in, and really XMS can save the armor. Navera, he's got a deagle. It's not going to be relevant to the next round, nor is the Zeus, but as well it plays out as just not giving them that extra bit of cash and having a backup weapon perhaps if you get an op-out.
Sad we didn't get to see the Zeus being used.
It can always be fun. Nothing more
Inferno's
like...
one of the few maps you're going to see it being pulled out on.
I mean, if you win a round but you get Zeused, have you really won the round? No?
Yeah, but nah. But yeah, no, not really getting to see it being used. I wouldn't imagine it'll be pulled out too much in this next round, unless we see Navera getting stuck in a very awkward predicament. Yeah, just going to throw that away. He's like, I don't need that anymore. The buy obviously coming in now, going into the final round of the half. It is not perfect, but it's overall fairly strong. A decent amount of nades, the op being available for Maka. He was a man obviously who has had so much impact for them, even did on that previous map, and unfortunately is having a little bit of a slower start here. And what worries me is that he's going to be swapping over to the T side of Inferno next, where it's no easier to make that AWP actually work.
This is it. Heretics want to lead by 1 coming into the finale, but Kiyashima, he's taken down, leaving it into a 4v5. Now they have got an early 3-man B stack. Fnatic are taking top banana. This is going to be a dangerous peek. Golden not good for the kill, and a swing out gets a trade. It's not the worst. They've definitely recovered from the spot they were in, but even a 3v3 is good for Fnatic. They've poked the beast towards B, and surprisingly starting to move in there. It is a bit of a gamble at this stage. They could easily have rotated one player around to that B site, in which case you're walking into to an extended stack in this situation. But also, Lucky could have fallen all the way back. Maybe they've stacked A. It's hard to tell how a team's going to react to this, but Lucky still committing down on the coffins, as he's done many times in the past when Kiyashima's fallen and he's solo B. JW, he's got his specs on, so he saw straight through that play.
Yeah, no, the smoke going down behind as well, also going to be holding these CTs off for a little while before they can begin to move in for this retake, so that is unfortunate. Some nades remaining for them to use. A flash which could be thrown over. Actually, I believe going to go see if they can catch anyone. XMS! His head was spotted, but he reacts extremely quickly. Crims gets dispatched, and now it's the 2 players left towards Kyle's. And also around second orange. They have a decent position to try and play with the crossfire, but the smoke going down definitely makes it harder. Brolin still able to find one and retreat back to safety. And then peeking back in, he goes ahead and finishes off that half as well. Fnatic with a fantastic recovery there to come out with 8 rounds.
Well, Dino, we got to throw it to a break. So I'm going to get things rolling, get the music for the folks, and we'll find out who takes it when we come back. Still, pretty good T side for Fnatic. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Team Heretics versus Fnatic, map number 2, half number 2. Pistol rounds underway, and you already see Maka taking a little bit of damage, lucky to survive that USP tap, as Fnatic start out in the CT side with a 1-round lead after a pretty good recovery to their T side.
Ooh, Golden. He did have a flash come over there. He was looking to see if he could actually challenge this area. And I guess just kind of showing the presence in general right now, Heretics have decided that they don't really want to stick around that area. Instead, backing off, setting themselves up for what is likely going to be a split through the apartments and short right there on towards A. But there is still 3 players around here. Nothing too crazy at the moment for this setup in terms of how they're going with Fnatic. But there's one in the grave, one in towards pit, and they're going to be letting them pop out a little bit before they actually take contact. XMS had dropped from the apartments. They'll look to wrap in through long as well, and this is going to be tough now. As I said, I thought Roland has been able to find one, gets himself the second spinning around, but eventually goes down. That will be the bomb getting planted now for Team Heretics, as it's left on Flush It and Golden to try and pull off the retake. With the damage that's done and with a defuse kit available here as well, this is definitely still achievable. And they do also have a flash to try and open up a little bit of room for them to move forward.
Taps away by Golden. You see Heretics have got such good positions. Tucked in on the bomb site with a crossfire as well. Pit just playing as a distraction, information gathering, and swinging out for a little bit of damage afterwards as well. Golden running out of any ammunition as Flusha just decides it's time to save the kit. Might be useful in the next round. Especially with it being Inferno, we could see a force spy coming through from the CT side. But Heretics happy to take up that pistol if they can follow through with one more. Things will be looking damn good. I mentioned before that I thought their T side would be where they actually thrive versus Fnatic. Their counter-terrorist has a lot of weaknesses to it. And although we saw them patch up a lot of them coming into the previous half, it still does strike me as a bit of an upside that they managed to find so many rounds. 7 may not be considered traditionally a good CT side, but considering they're against Fnatic and now they're on their more comfortable side, I don't know, I have a little bit of faith that this could definitely come into still a very close game.
Yeah, as I said before, I never really do count Heretics out. They're always able to put up a fight. It doesn't seem to matter what team they're against, or at least in their late games. Their form for the last month or so has been quite incredible. That opening though from Crims there is massive. XMS was down in the underpass, popped up and got his head straight took off by that scout. So a nice advantage for Fnatic, something that they need when you are working with this weaker investment. Now they can afford to play a little bit more passive, see if they can hang on to those smokes, which they still have 4 of. And if they can manage to retain those into the later parts of the round, or at least until that push starts coming through from Heretics, then you could definitely see those pistols still causing a lot of damage.
Heretics are about to walk into a B stack, excuse me, as the rotates in by JW. He's helping out in CT, but about to be smoked off. No fear of fading through it, though, when you've got the Deagle in play. Spamming in, not finding anything just yet. And here come the nades. Dodges the frag. He's already swung wide out in the open. And he's getting PP, Bison down. Sees the tracers, but not able to follow exactly. Fnatic comfortable just holding this. 30 seconds left. These terrorists are going to have to push into their pistols, and despite the first pick, they are still in danger. Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, Navira and Lucky quickly shutting you up there as they pull back a kill each. And Fnatic realizing that there's really not a lot that they can do about this anymore. It's best to retain those weapons into the next round. Crims does connect a shot. They're probably not aware of it just because the smoke was still down at that point. He may have spotted something above it. I'm not quite sure. I think it was just a spam. But yeah, saving these 3 over, what they have right now, the Scout, the pistol, the SMG as well, having Kevlar on 2 of those players, considering they won't be buying up anything at all in the next round, it'll give them a chance to, again, try and keep the pressure on, see if they can take a few weapons out of the hands of Heretics, and just don't let them feel too comfortable with how they're kicking things off here on the T side. But yeah, we're not seeing an insanely scrappy back and forth after the pistol, at least. This is actually going to be the team who won the pistol being able to capitalize on it. Then again, though, we do still have a decent amount of weaponry to make this next round a little bit dangerous, too.
Yeah, that's it. Especially, like, that scout floating around, it can make it much easier for any of these weaker pistols in play to do some damage. JW's got the Deagle, Flusha, Golden, even a P250 could come through from them. The fact that you've got a scout in play, I wouldn't even mind extra frag grenades being bought up across the board to try and land a little bit of extra damage to leave Crims onto one-shot opponents. You see that come through for Golden and Flusha instead of the P250s. And this could definitely be a threatening round for Heretics. One that they're likely to win, but that they need to be very careful about. Oh, I thought that was Crims connecting the shot. In fact, I was seeing Crims' health go down just as he shot. The run out by Fnatic as they leave they leave all control towards middle. They pull back, allow Heretics to safely walk up in there. Apartments is well conceded, which isn't what you normally see in a round where these pistols and weaker weapons are in play.
No, true. Normally you see it being just played kind of passive. A couple players holding around banana, a couple players around mid, and maybe second mid as well, just waiting to see if those pistols do get aggressive in the early stages. But straight towards middle, Heretics, they want to get the control. They have a couple players who've advanced the banana as well already. So giving themselves pretty much all of the options that they could possibly want at this point about making the decision about where they want to end it. They're not really being blocked off anywhere specifically. And a rotation right now has come in from Fnatic, sending another player over towards B. That's Brolin with the MP9 also. So now actually to defend this bomb site itself, it's only going to be the 2 players who have already been tagged up.
Nice shot by Maka. Crims good to still do some damage. Fnatic could definitely get this done. The problem is JW's the only one on the site. He's got a deagle, and they're about to rain down upon him. He gets one at least. The peek from up above. JW, a double kill. That keeps them alive. They can actually go for this. Fnatic, unfortunately, the players that are left have got no armor, except for Brawlin, who's on the MP9. But still, the damage done by JW stands to them. It's definitely worth taking the risk. Starting to move forward. The USPs will group up short and balcony. Our two players on site looking up towards it, though, and as time ticks away, it looks like they are just going to play exits. They know the damage is being done, right? Kiyashima is low. They might suspect XMS or Nevera to also be tagged up. So the exits are really where they can find something, and that's where Brawlin comes in. Immediately takes one, and already they're all dead. There's no way they survive this one. Goodbye, sweet dreams, Nevera. He falls. Brawlin's going to go and see if he can find an AK. What?
Nah,
oh,
quite.
He was so close, though.
Right on the stairs there on the bomb site, he was indeed extremely close to retrieving that. We had a nice little overview of it. But yeah, I mean, Fnatic, they can be really happy with the fact that they were able to make that such a close round. Obviously, they didn't really invest at all into it. What they did have was saved over from the round before. There was those couple nades that were brought out by the players who had died. Instead of buying up P250s, as you mentioned, they went for the nades. And a round that they can be fairly happy with overall. But now they're coming onto their actual first full buy here on the CT side. And if this doesn't work out, then they're in a lot of trouble. So this round is extremely important. And look at that from Golden. Straight through the flames. Does find Maka blinded. And with the op, he couldn't really do anything in terms of protecting himself or putting up any sort of a defense. But yeah, I mean, with the trades at this point now actually having gone in favor of Fnatic, they're happy enough to just give up this control.
Oh, definitely. You just concede that completely, play on the bomb sites, and look for the duels as they push on in. The smoke down. Nevera was hoping he'll catch someone on CT, but no one to be seen. Oh. Playing games. Lucky he wasn't on that angle a second ago. Would have seen a very dead Crims in a wide open B bomb site with Flush it. Standing on a makeshift bidet. Oh, that peek's going to come through again. Nevera's been spotted. Good shot by Crims. Nade around the corner. They're not going to do the damage, but 50 seconds left. They know they're both here. Those smokes coming over. It's guaranteed. Fnatic should have this on lockdown.
Most likely, especially as Flush is able to find XMS there, who is completely blind. And then Crim's just setting himself up on a little bit of an off angle there at the bottom of the coffins, ready for Kiyoshima, who came around the corner. So Fnatic, they are able to go ahead and pick up, as I said, a very crucial round for them to have an opportunity to get something going here early on their CT side. And I want to be having a slow start with the gun rounds, like they did kind of back on the first half. That's what was causing them an issue in the first place. Looking though at the economy of Heretics, they didn't really have to go for this force buy, I don't believe. I think Nevera was looking at the double eco, unfortunately, so that's kind of what has prompted them to go for it. So they buy up pretty much everything, only keeping really a few $100s onto a couple players. So Heretics putting everything into this round, and it's only given them 3 Tech 9s and a couple of Deagles. So this is a good opportunity for Fnatic to get back up to 10, and potentially off the back of it, 11.
Spam for Crims is good. Trade out. Pistols not going to last too well up against JW on range. Good for 2, and there's a third. Easily handled, and Kiyashima all by himself. The Deagle in hand. His dreams crushed. As he walks out of here, he's already been watched by Brawlin straight away. And you can't imagine this story having a happy ending.
It certainly does not. But, I mean, it's not the end. And unfortunately, it does mean they concede the lead over the Fnatic, obviously. But once they get back onto the buy in the next round, especially if they could get a couple kills here, which isn't incredibly likely since they can't really afford to invest into pistols. But if they can rush together, take down 1 or 2 players, come back out into the next gun round, and just get back swinging once again, then it definitely could still be a very competitive one here. But Fnatic, they're feeling a little bit more comfortable now with this kind of open and start of the 2 rounds in a row, and likely the third on their CT side. JW is very aggressive. There's a player jumping up close who he realizes he can't really afford to stick around. Wall bang on the Gio as well. Spot the corner of his, or the side of his shoulder rather. Lucky is still up close here, but I don't imagine he'll really be able to do anything with just the Glock.
This is the thing. When you've got these pistols, you want to play quite cautiously after being tagged up like JW was. Although he's the one swinging out to middle. Yeah, eventually he just pulls back to the pit. It's the right call. And Navera hoping he gets access. The Zeus in hand, but this isn't the kind of position where Fnatic are going to go pushing. They'll let you run down the clock if you want to. Hell, they might even get to kill you after time then. Navera's going to have to push forward and just end it.
He does still have a Zeus. Who knows? Maybe he can get in towards the apartments. Perhaps catch one player with that, even steal a weapon. And if he had another kill or two, oh, I don't think it's too likely anymore. Yeah, just spamming away. JW wasn't giving him any chance. He was just hoping there that JW would push up close and he'd be able to maybe fire off that Zeus and catch him off guard. 11 to 10, Fnatic do climb the lead as we were saying they would. But here's the full buy coming back into play. I mean, it's not fantastic. Maka's not going to get the op. I don't think that's the end of the world considering they are now on the T side. But just Maka in general hasn't been having the performance we've come to expect of him so far here on Inferno.
Well, this is where things can take a turn for the better, although Maka's only got a Galil, so I don't think this is going to be his round. Heretics have got a full buy up. Oh, look at that flash. Perfect. Brawlin spots them, but can't get the kills just yet. Playing it patient. They most likely don't know he's here. He has to be cautious. XMS is coming up below. What way does he look? It's back towards this spawn. He could be in a lot of trouble. XMS, though, looking up towards top mid. Flash goes through, and they see Brawlin. Easy kill to be found. Good decision by Brawlin, in all honesty, to play that passive, but the fact that Heretics had been mollied off and then blinded early got them suspicious that someone was likely to be down towards the bottom of middle. With that, Fnatic actually start to stack up on the B bomb site. They think they've got Heretics figured out, and in all honesty, they are a very B-heavy team when it comes to late round execute. So if they're given no access on A, there's a good chance they might run into this 4-man stack. What is this prediction from Fnatic?
Yeah, we're seeing Heretics inching their way up mid as well. They need to move relatively quickly. The information, of course, at this point is going to be found for Fnatic, especially now as they boost JW over. Spot no one on Banana. Heard a utility being thrown out on mid. They know they need to get moving, but they're still taking their time, as are Heretics. This could still go either way. XMS is going to find them out quite soon, at least. Will he be able to get the kills from it, though, is the question. The first one indeed being found. Flusha follows up. No, keep your gun out. Oh, hang on. They're rushing back. That's going to be B open. They're both waiting right now for this. There's an opportunity maybe for them to swing it back, but Lucky says no. He's going to go ahead and put a stop to it. 11 to 11.
That could have worked out so well for Fnatic, though. Having those two players staggered back a little bit. Like you said, Heretics thought it was completely open on B. They got the banana pushers. The other two are probably sat on the A site. Let's go. It's open. All of a sudden, there they are. But Lucky had fortunately fallen down into the underpass. So a nice little frag for him, putting it 11 to 11. And Heretics in a spot again, tying up where they look good, but they do have to win this one. Fnatic have got a bit of cash built up. They're easily in here with M4s and a AWP. And early on, the banana control is fantastic. We see the smoke on the bottom, the molly just in front of it, the nades as well, in case anyone had made it past. And as you see, Lucky gets punished by that quite heavily, but Mac is there to stop any further aggression. And with that, Fnatic have to concede banana control. Maybe they don't. They've got Crims here who has a flash. Yeah, Golden's going to stick around. I think he was going to peek, but the molly surely will just prompt him to fall backwards. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. This makes sense. The other alternative was that he plays contact with Crims having the flash. But it looks like he's just going to be waiting for... No. They're going to flash back in. Fair enough.
Genius, Mitch. Oh, they both have the same idea. Obviously, the flash isn't going to be catching Golden, though. He waits now with that signal kind of coming over for him. It's not going to blind up the player close, nor the one back at the wall. So another easy frag there just being found for Heretics, bringing it into a 5-on-3. The rotation beginning to come over towards B, and this time it is actually where Heretics are looking to end it. Not a lot of time. 40 seconds, plenty for the team here, so I can say it's pretty much what they have to do. No options really to go back, but they don't need to now that XMS has got himself that trade. The up in the spawn being smoked off for now. You see Brolin wondering whether he really should be rotating at this point. I mean, the bomb hasn't gone down, but a 2-on-4 retake is going to be very difficult. If he can catch this flank on Kiyoshima, a 2-on-3, they should know they tagged up Lucky a little bit. Maybe it is achievable at that point, but I don't think they even want to risk it. Those weapons need to be saved over.
Brolin all by himself trying to save the M4. He gets another kill because Kiyoshima was caught off guard. But after this is where Heretics decide, you know what? Maybe we don't want this guy to survive. And they're starting to move in. The AWP recovered by Brawl, and the time is quite low. If he makes it into pit, he could be good, but he's being watched. Maka misses the shot. Almost the return by Brawlin, but now he's out in the open. And literally a millisecond away from clicking the button, but Lucky's the one to pull the trigger first and put it 12-11. No weapon save forward for Fnatic. They can't really get a buy here, Dean, can they? I mean, they can pull out M4s, yeah, and with no head armor, it's fine, but the utility on Inferno is so important that I think just pistols, yeah. It's the correct decision, but it's a really hard call to make, because that's likely Heretics pulling even further ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it at least will let them get everything they want in this next round, obviously, but at that point, that gun round is going to be so crucial. If they lose it, we'll see Heretics very likely going up the map in serious points, so not an ideal spot to be in. They definitely can still do a bit here with what they've actually bought up. 4 Deagles, an MP9, a few nades as well, including actually 4 smokes still at this point, so you can't count them out for sure. It is Fnatic after all. But early on, at least in this round, Heretics just taking it slow. They've got themselves the banana control. This nade from Golden could do some damage for sure. Depends on the timing as well. Spotting out a couple of players now. They do toss it in and does a small bit. Nothing incredibly substantial. Could definitely help out with the MP9, for example, against those 2 players who have slightly lower health now. Towards the head, it would be a little bit more effective. As well as the Deagles, obviously, will definitely get those kills in 2. Sometimes you end up getting like 90 done with 2 body spams, obviously, from the Deagle. So not a big deal, but it could help them a tiny bit. I mean, at this point, you kind of have to find any little positives you can.
And downsides for Fnatic are that they've 3 men stacked up B again, suspecting Heretics to end there, but they've decided they're going to change things up again and move towards that A bomb site. Rotate is in quite quickly from Fnatic, and Heretics didn't push up short at all after giving away long contact. This leaves them in a position where Fnatic are able to get the rotate, took in on the bomb site, but now they've actually sent Brawlin back over towards B, presuming that it was a fake. But no, they're going to find out the hard way it wasn't. Maybe not the hard way. Crim's in for 1. JW not spotted. Oh, no, they saw his big booty, unfortunately. And they were not hesitant to give it a big spank. Get him at the game.
Was able to take down Keo, though. Somehow. Bomb, though, being planted does pretty much seal this round in favor of Heretics, though. If they can get a few kills, I mean, the economy for the T side isn't fantastic. Only having a couple Deagles and an MP9, it's not like they have a lot to lose themselves, but the armor could even be a bit of a help in this next round. They are only getting 20. It's not ideal. They are, I guess, trying to see if they can maybe even steal some weapons for themselves. Those AKs would be nice. Moving in, though, Maka already taken low, so he's not really going to be facing too much. Eventually does peek out, realizing against that MP9, he's going to wait for his teammates to help. Actually escaping this bomb site, though, is going to be quite difficult. Flush it in a good position here. Gets the first, looking for the second. So moving towards the pit. I don't think that'll work for them, though, either way. Yeah, with the health that was available, it's just not far enough away from that bomb itself. So 13-11, but no one at all survives in that round.
But that was huge damage done by Flush It in the end. They come through and rob them of every single weapon. Now 13-11 faces Heretics having full investment. They're going all the way in, deep diving into their economy. And Fnatic, although they're doing the same, the fact that they've brought it back to a level playing field after losing those 2 rounds is definitely something that will stand to them moving forward. Heretics have a lot of pressure on them to win this round here. If they don't, it's likely equalized again and Fnatic keep it close. Early banana control going to come through from Heretics. Now, Fnatic have been attempting this pretty consistently. This time, though, they're much further back. They're playing it passive. That means one of a couple of things. Maybe they've got an AWP on the corner, but Heretics didn't give a damn. They just wide swung on it, suspecting, obviously, that Fnatic wouldn't have the cash in play to have it all. On the back of that, they've either stacked up or they're just going to play down the time with heavy utility. In this case, you want to definitely watch out for any A pushes coming through. The fact that Fnatic have got nothing to work with in terms of information towards Banana makes it likely that an information play is going to come in somewhere across the map. But in fact, what's quite odd about it is that they're so willing to play passive, even with an SMG towards B. You'd imagine the goal would be to get Golden up close, maybe play up at the sandbags. And lucky they didn't, because he would have been double naded and be sitting either dead or on like 10 HP.
True. I mean,
sorry, here's the problem. Because they haven't got any info towards A, now they've rotated around to B. They had the 3-man stack there for just a minute, and as Heretics execute in, the rotate is only around CT. But again, they take it slow, so a huge impact.
It could be cut off though. I mean, a smoke towards Moho, I'm not sure if that's been thrown out. I believe it has. That could make it a little bit harder for him to come in and help out. Actually, JW nearly been caught on long, just about getting his M4 out, manages to react to Lucky. So able to shut down one avenue to at least of that attack there from the D side as they focus mostly from short now with one player coming through the apartments. The flash was actually perfect to blind up Crims, and they are beginning to actually trade on towards the bomb site itself. But look at the time, and look at the health here for Maki. He's going to have to come up clutch as that bomb is getting planted, and XMS getting trapped in the corner. What the hell? Flusha goes down. The damage towards Brolin as well gives Maka a fighting chance, but he is still 1-on-2.
Do they know where he is, though? That's the question. Oh, he's got the angle, but he misses it. That could cost him his life on 12 HP. One bullet's all that's needed. They're going to go in for the defuse. He tried to jump up on top of the bike. That was a brave play. And with that, Fnatic take the defuse. Bomb plant, though, means Heretics can get a tiny investment. Pistols, armor on 3 players, and see how things go. But Fnatic have really bought themselves a chance back into this. Reality is, the Fnatic economy isn't looking a whole lot better than what the T's is. And a tactical timeout, this may even be to discuss the feasibility of going in for a... Well, we've already got an AK out, so that kind of... Thanks, XMS. Yeah, screw the storyline. Let's just... Spoilers. What a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to the point you were saying about the way B is being played. Considering they're so willing to go for that late round 3-man B stack as well, it's kind of surprising that they don't just do it in the beginning, get themselves that control, and then give the ability, as you said, to just have one player even around the wall playing for info, just restrict that control, because it's been massive for Heretics. They do really rely on it.
And if you look at Heretics and how they play in general, it's been very slow T sides. We don't see immediate blitz executes coming through from them, and even if they have gone A, it's been very late on in the round. So, like you're saying, the only risk with having that 3-man B stack early on to get banana control is maybe they fast rush A, but it's quite unlikely to happen when they're on a full buy.
Indeed, and it is a full buy for Heretics in terms of them spending all of their money here, but it doesn't give them the best investment. You see a Galil, 2 AKs, a Tech 9, and a Deagle. Fnatic's not being perfect either, but their only real weakness being the MP9 that Crims is on. So they're in a good position right now to, again, try and get going on the CT side. See if they can reclaim the lead. We had it happen a little bit earlier on when they were able to take 3 rounds in a row. We've seen it then flip back to Heretics, but Fnatic looking to do it once again. But it's a quick B play coming in. That Molotov is a massive issue for them. Causes a lot of damage on top of then Flusha spamming away. Golden snatching one with the op. And although they do get across to the bomb site, I don't think they're really going to be allowed to do a lot with it. Molotov even stopping them from planting safely. And a nade to follow up could do some serious damage.
It's lined up by Crims. Looks like it's going to be coming through any second now. XMS on the bomb site.
The suspense.
Oh, this is almost definitely a kill. If XMS survives this, they're all 3 of them are on the one spot. Look, 2 nades, 3 guys right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Don't get the kill. XMS is somehow the last player alive. Swings through, but with such low HP, Brolin wall banged him through his teammate. Why not? 13-13, no bomb plant. Heretics left in a spot now where they cannot buy, and Fnatic to hit 14. The CT side pulling it all the way back.
Yeah, and this wouldn't be a... Well, I guess going into the next round would probably be the best time then for Heretics to call in a pause if they do have some remaining. I do believe so. It definitely would be a good idea, realizing now, obviously, this round only being Glocks, there's not a lot they can do. They can use this to have a little bit of a chat as well. We're not seeing an extremely quick player coming in from them. Obviously, Inferno is a map where it is quite difficult when you're only on the to get much stuff, especially early on in the round. On a map like Train, for example, you can rush down towards B. There's a good chance you can get the bomb planted. Here on Inferno, you have to manage to contend with, to actually contest against all those nades as well that are coming in early on, so it really does slow you down. But they've got the banana control eventually. Fnatic playing it passively as you would expect, not looking to get up too close and personal to these pistols. You're going to see them look to try and just burst in together, so maybe there is a small chance. No, the nade from Flusha is massive. It actually takes 2 of them out, and then comes in for a 3rd kill himself, helped out by Golden as he gets his 2nd of the round. And Fnatic, they reclaim the lead, 14-13, but Heretics coming back onto the buy. This one is so important, and not only do they actually need to pick this one up, Fnatic have built up enough economy to have a really solid buy in the next round as well, so ideally, Heretics, they need to take 2 in a row here, otherwise they're still going to be in a lot of trouble.
This is where the T's need to bring it across the line to keep themselves in it. But Fnatic, if they can just win this one right here, it's home free. They'll be looking up against Pistols for that final round, or what should be the final. Lots of mollies in banana. The CT side throwing in that util to attempt to push the terrorists back. Look at this though. The nade stack straight down middle. Maka has that read. He knows there's two here, but they've lost Nevera to it. From banana, from top mid. Oh man. Fnatic have pulled out all the stops. Entry kills with a nade. The attempt to rush through the smoke afterwards from Maka not working out at all. And now two players walking through mid and a crossfire to quickly deal with them. Fnatic miles ahead coming into this final buy round for Heretics should they not win this one, but they have pulled it back to a 2v3. Maybe a small glimmer of hope.
Could still be recovered. Rotation coming in through library quickly there from Flusha. So Lucky needs to be careful. He's already crossed over that angle though. So if he can deal with Crims in the pit, he gives them the opening to get that bomb planted, and then they have a player still lurking around mid who's likely going to be holding for those rotations to come in through long. Flusha actually getting dinked down first. I didn't expect Crims in the pit though. The nade following it up from Keo is perfect. Where are they going to bring this though? They still have 40 seconds. In theory, they could rotate this back at this point. As long as they stick together, they're going to outnumber whichever bomb site they go towards. And yeah, looking to wrap it around through long. Kind of a good position though for Crims in that pit. Yeah, it is indeed Crims. I couldn't tell from the camera angle. And the smoke also delayed a little bit more. Yeah, able to pop up, catch that first player off guard. Now we can just try and waste time.
Lucky's gone straight in for the bomb plant though, and he's going to try to force the fight afterwards, but Crims is using the smoke to fade all the way back. And Lucky knows there's another player on the rotate through. He's trying to catch him off. Faded to short. The angle's all being cleared here as Golden is caught off guard, and he knows exactly where Crims is. Fades away to short, playing the time. Lucky needs to win this 1v1 to pull it through. The bomb going to be tapped. Crims hooked away. He's going in, sticking the defuse. Comes off it just in time as he hears the steps of Lucky. The swing, but not the kill. And Crims has still got time to defuse it. Fnatic take it 15-13. And Team Heretics, even with the bomb plants, are going to be struggling to get nice, comfy buys out. Not a whole lot to work with for utility, and that is devastating. They'll need to win 2 in a row just to connect in overtime.
That really looked like it should have been Lucky's kill, if I'm being honest right there. Seemed like he had Crims caught off guard, or at least had to kind of jump on him by a small bit. In the end, not being enough, and now Heretics scraping together what buy they can. Thankfully, with that bomb having gone down, it's not terrible. But as you said, now fighting for an overtime, they need to take 2 in a row if they want to keep the dream of the 2-0 alive. As Fnatic look to try and take it on towards overpass. But you said Heretics are probably going to have the hardest time out of all 3 of the maps.
Well, as we said in the beginning, you know, the final map definitely favors Fnatic more so than either two moving throughout. Heretics have won it both times, but versus Simon Gaming really struggled to close it out, 22-20, and double wins versus Monster Riders. The blitz is coming straight out of the balcony. Is barely even a blitz. Nevera walks out and dies. 1-for-1 trades being found. The molly here for Crims is good for extra damage. They can't get into the pit. Brawlin smoked off, but taken down by Maka's Mac 10. The CTs are going to struggle. Oh no. Kiyashima somehow wins that fight. He was out in the open and pit. I thought he'd been cut off by Flusha, but evidently not. And he gets him through the smoke on the Golden. They know that Crims was on the side as well, and a spam to take him down, a wall bang, and I was honestly counting them out after the very staggered push, but 4 kills from Kiyashima later, and they just need 1 more round for overtime.
Yeah, Flusha was actually blind there. He got blinded and then ended up jumping up onto the kind of scooter itself and was still moving forward. So once he got unblinded, he seen Kiyashima, but just wasn't able to react in time. So it was a little bit of an awkward... But yeah, 1 more for the overtime. It's still a decent buy from Fnatic, apart from Brolin being stuck onto the FAMAS, unfortunately. Probably not the player you want stuck onto a weaker weapon, but overall, everyone really is contributing right now for Fnatic, which is what you want to see. This could still go either way, man. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing 3 maps just because it's been so exciting so far, but I also wouldn't mind seeing overtime.
Either way, it's going to be competitive. Fnatic looking to close this one out and show us exactly what overpass looks like from Heretics. A deep nade from JW. Steps, sprays, and he gets a kill as well out of it. No damage taken out of there on top mid. Crims is even here to support him now, so there's not too much to worry about. That's a free opening duel, untradeable for the T side as they flash through. No presence being made really outside of that. Slowly shifting down towards B. On Kiyashima, trying to sell the fake. Spots the JW's on short. Unfortunately, that information is very costly. And they're about to run into that 2-man B hold that has held them off even when they're 4 men pushing in. They've got a lot less, yeah, a lot less utility than before, and JW's coming behind them. Oh no, utility isn't even going to leave their belts.
Unfortunately for Heretics, despite putting up a very competitive map, looks like it is going to be Overpass that's coming up next to decide this series. And there you go, Golden with the final 2 kills.